The Manpower Ministry has announced new rules that require employers to consider Singaporeans fairly before hiring skilled professional foreigners. The new fair consideration framework will affect employers who apply for employment passes. That's a work pass for foreign professionals working in managerial, executive or specialised jobs. The ministry stressed, however, that the rules are not meant to be a hire Singaporean First policy. Instead, it's about fairness in hiring.
The Manpower Ministry said it doesn't have a problem with most firms here, but there are a handful which clearly needs to improve its hiring process.
Does it happen? I'm quite sure it does. I would say that in our conversations, companies have also acknowledged that some of them weren't really paying a lot of attention to the way they hire. We are also aware that sometimes individuals may have their own biased hiring perspectives, and that should not be acceptable.
Under the new rules, firms making new employment pass applications must advertise the job vacancy in a new jobs bank for at least 14 days. The advertisement must be open to Singaporeans. If an employment pass is still needed, the employer will have to make a statutory declaration that an ad with the jobs bank had been placed. The ministry will also identify firms which have a disproportionately low level of Singaporean professionals, managers and executives, or have had repeated complaints of nationality-based discrimination. Recalcitrant firms may have their work pass privileges curtailed. Selected firms under additional scrutiny will be notified by the first quarter of next year. The new jobs bank will go online by mid-2014. By August next year, all employers submitting new employment pass applications must comply with the advertisement requirements.
Well, Singapore needs to remain open and competitive because that's the only way that we can generate good jobs and opportunities for people. And that should continue. But being open and competitive does not mean that it should not be compatible with progressive and fair work practices, workplaces, as well as hiring practices.
Small firms with 25 or fewer employees and jobs which pay a fixed monthly salary of 12,000 Sing dollars or more will not be subjected to the advertising requirement. Now, the new rules come after a consultation process of about 6 months involving Singaporeans and key stakeholders such as the labour movement and employer groups. Now, the Manpower Ministry also made study trips to places such as Hong Kong, the US and Canada. Now, most of these jurisdictions have some form of employment requirement for companies seeking to hire foreigners.
Well, businesses, the Employers Federation and the labour movement all reacted positively to the new fair consideration framework. In particular, they welcomed the proposed creation of a national jobs bank, saying that it's timely.
The latest fair consideration framework is a light-touch approach to managing recruitment practices. That's the view of both the Association of Small and Medium Enterprises and the Singapore National Employers Federation. Both organizations emphasize the importance of a Singaporean core.
Singaporean employers must also go back to the reality, which is to employ Singaporeans, because in the longer run, the foreigners have no roots here. And I think that they should continue to train a pool of Singaporeans to help them to run their businesses.
The business agencies welcome the proposal of mandatory advertising on one central website.
There are also some benefits where you concentrate all the jobs available and you bring together the job seekers and the employers together onto one platform. So from that platform you can do some data mining, you can see what sort of jobs are emerging, or if there is a future trend of new skills that's required.
The Employers Federation has suggested exempting jobs with critical skills that are in short supply.
We are not turning away foreign PMEs totally, neither are we turning away foreign investments. Essentially, there's a balanced approach. We know that there are certain jobs or certain skills that are highly specialized, so I think this fair consideration framework will provide this platform to allow, in certain instances where specific skills or specific knowledge of certain jurisdictions are required, that companies and employers can still continue to hire foreign PMEs in this respect.
The fair consideration framework comes into effect from the 1st of August next year. The business agencies are looking forward to more details on how it could be implemented and enforced.